Hey, it's me, RT13, yes, me, Rattlehead Triple 13, and since I have, no, or may I say, since I have increased my CD collection, my metal CD collection, I'm deciding to do a video updating the recent CDs that I have added to my collection. Now, two other CDs, to be honest, are new metal, and the other is a punk CD. But yeah, I'm kind of doing another collection of horror punk and well, yeah, usually horror punk collection. That's what I'm gonna be doing. And well, the first CD I would like to show you is Demons and Wizards, Touched by the Crimson King. If you're not familiar with them, I mean, they're pretty underground though, Demons and Wizards. But it's a project band that was formed by John Schaefer from Iced Earth, or may I say John Schaefer, guitarist of Iced Earth, and the vocalist from Blind Guardian. I can't remember his name, but they started this band, and yes, they have guest musicians that, you know, that join them as well, like some drummer from Iced Earth and stuff. And well, I really do enjoy this CD. It's like the most epic power metals project band I have ever listened to. I mean, I like the mixture I like how they mix the themes of Iced Earth themes and Blind Guardian themes into a masterpiece like this. That's what I really like about this CD. And well, my favorite songs of the CD. Now, this one is a digipack version of the album Touched by the Crimson King by Demons and Wizards, which includes a bonus disc, a bonus CD. And yes, the bonus material is pretty exciting. But my favorite songs from by Demons and Wizards on their album Touched by the Crimson King, excuse me, is Crimson King. Nah, I'm not really a big fan of it, but it's an okay song. Beneath These Waves, which that was the first song by Demons and Wizards I listened to. And yes, I first heard of them on Pandora. And yes, Pandora, I do like how Pandora helps you find good artists, good bands, good music. That's the greatest thing about Pandora, I really like. But back to, one of my favorite songs, Beneath These Waves, The Gunslinger, Love's Tragedy, Asunder, Dorian, Down Where I Am, and Immigrant Song. Yes, their cover to the song Immigrant Song. And for the bonus material, my favorite song from the bonus disc CD is Lunar Lament and Spatial Architects. But I have to say, this is like the greatest CD in my collection. I think this is the best one out of my whole collection because, well, I'll show you why. I just really love the artwork on this. It's pretty awesome. I just love looking at it. And yes, here's the CDs as well, along with the booklet. And another CD, Amon Amarth with Odin on Our Side. Yes, this one has a bonus CD as well. And it has live version, no, it has live songs. It has demos, and anything you can think of. And yes, Amon Amarth is really one of my favorite Swedish death metal bands. I like the lyrical themes, I like the lyrical themes. The lyrical themes are pretty epic. And I really like the band because I am really into Viking culture and all that stuff, that has to associate with Vikings. I'm really into Norse mythology and stuff, and that's why I'm really into this band. And yes, here's the inside of the case. Excuse me. And my favorite songs from this CD are Valhalla Awaits Me, Ruins to My Memory, Azator, I think that's one of my favorites, Cry of the Blackbird, Cry of the Blackbirds, yes, that's the name of the song, which, that is some awesome shit. And moving on to the next CD. Yes. Now I have found this in FYE. It's an Iced Earth's. It's one of Iced Earth's EPs of the album Overture of the Wicked. And yes, it has 4 songs from the album, the actual album. But this has only 4 of the CDs, and yes, this is an EP. I'm not really sure how rare it is to find an EP, an old EP from a band. I'm not sure, but I found it at FYE used, and I bought it, and it was in a good price. I think it was like $5, or I can't remember the price, but it was pretty good. But yeah, I bought it, and yeah, my favorite songs from this EP are 10,000 Strong. It's one of my most favorites. I like just every song that's on this EP, but my most favorite is 10,000 Strong is my favorite one out of the EP. And Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind. Yes, I'm not really it's one of my least favorite albums by Iron Maiden, to be honest. My favorite songs are Flight of the Arcus. The Trooper sounds okay. I haven't barely listened to this album. But like I said, it's one of my least favorite. It's one of my least favorite albums by Iron Maiden. And what else? Fly the Arcus, Where the Eagles Dare. That's a pretty good song by them. But yeah, like I said, it's one of my least favorite albums by Iron Maiden. I got the name wrong. And also, this is one of Megadeth's old albums. Yes, Cryptic Writings, Megadeth Cryptic Writings. Yes, it's one of their old CDs, and yes, I'm a big Megadeth fan. I mean, heck, I'm wearing a Megadeth shirt. See? Yeah, like I said, I'm a big Megadeth fan. Went to see them live once. and I'm planning on seeing them live again, hopefully. But back to the CD. My favorite songs from Megadeth CD is Trust, Almost Honest, A Secret Place. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. She-Wolf, Vortex are also my favorites in this CD. Or may I say in this album. Another CD. Except, yes, Blood of the Nations. And yes, I have to say that this is like a phenomenal album by Accept. Now, I first got into Accept by this CD, by the song Teutonic Terror. That's what really got me into Accept. And yes, I have listened to their older stuff, and this album is incredible. The guitar solos are incredible. The vocals are very deep, and I'm not sure how to explain the vocals, but yeah, it's an awesome CD. But my favorite songs from this album is Beat the Bastards, Teutonic Terror, Blood of the Nations. Haven't listened to the full CD, but yeah, this is one of my favorites. This is my most favorited of Accept. And going to the next CD. Yes, this is like one of my most favorite albums by Metallica, Master of Puppets. It's really phenomenal. It's very phenomenal by Metallica. And yes, it is a lot more better than their last album. And no, not the EP. I like the EP. I don't have it in my collection yet, the EP by Metallica. And yes, I only got like 2 Metallica albums in my collection so far, like Master of Puppets. What's the other one? I'm trying to remember the name. And Justice for All. That's what I have in my collection. And, well, yes, I do consider this a masterpiece, like I said. But my favorite songs are Battery, Master of Puppets. And yes, Master of Puppets, the song is how do I even say it, like, really epic. The riffs are unforgettable. That's what I love about Master of Puppets, and I still remember those riffs. And the thing that should not be is my favorite as well. Welcome Home Sanitarium is my favorite as well. And I almost like every song in this album. And now on to the next CD is one of my most favorite albums by Iron Maiden, Brave New World. Now, I like almost every song of this album, but this is like one of Iron Maiden's best albums I have listened to. Like, the singing is incredible. I like how audible, you're able to hear the bass. And yes, the bassist of the band is my favorite bassist. And my favorite songs from this album are The Wicker Man, Ghost of the Navigator, Blood Brothers, The Mercenary, Dream of Mirrors. Well, I guess that's like one of my most favorite songs from this album. And next is Megadeth's first album, Killing Is My Business. And yes, I'm not really a big fan of this album, but there are some songs. I mean, the recording quality of the CD is very, very raw. That's what it is. It's, like I said, it's raw sounding, this album. And yes, like I said, it's one of Megadeth's very first albums. And my favorite songs from this CD is, and yes, this one has a bonus. It has bonus tracks. This album, it includes bonus tracks, and yes, they're demos. And getting on to one of my favorite songs in this album. It's Last Rites, Love to Death. Killing Is My Business, and Business is good. Mechanics is one of my favorites. One of my most favorites in this album, Mechanics. And I want to show this. I know it's not metal, but yes, the Misfits. They're like one of my most favorite punk bands, or may I say horror punk bands in the horror punk scene, Misfits. And tell you this, this is the only album I have, but my most favorite album by the Misfits is Famous Monsters. I consider Famous Monsters as the best CD ever, and yes, one of my favorite tracks from this album is Abdominal, Dr. Phibbs, American Psycho, Speak of the Devil, From Hell They Came, and yes, 17 tracks in this CD is 17 tracks. And yes, in this CD it includes a poster, and yes, the booklet is the poster. And yes, in the back of the poster there's the lyrics to the songs in the album. And I'm putting it back. And yes, I'm gonna move on to my new metal CDs. And to be honest, I started listening to heavy metal through new metal bands like Linkin Park. What else? Five Finger Death Punch and Mudvayne, and I'm trying to remember and Slipknot. That's how I got into heavy metal. I first started off with listening to Linkin Park, Slipknot, Five Finger Death Punch, like I said, and yes, that is what's so awesome about new metal. It gets I don't know how to explain it, but in my personal experience, that's how I got into bands like Metallica, Megadeth, Death, Amon Amarth, what else? Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath. That's how and Pantera. And that's how I, got into heavy metal music. But yes, this here is a Mudvayne CD LD50. And yes, I think they are the most incredible new metal band ever, Mudvayne. I like the bassist. I just like how audible the bass playing is in the songs, and I like the singing and the drumming. I just love the rhythm that they produce. I just love the rhythm. And, well, that's what I'm usually mostly into in Mudvayne, is the rhythm of the bass, the drums. And yes, my favorite songs from the CD are Dig, Internal Primates Forever, One Negative, Death Blooms. That's one of my most favorite songs from this album. And yes, here's a CD by Five Finger Death Punch. I used to be into them a lot, but well, I'm kind of into them. I bought this CD because some of their songs are really, really good. I really like the singing, the guitar playing. That's what I really like about this album. And my favorite songs from this album are Dying Breed, Hard to See, Bulletproof, War is the Answer, Canto 34, I think. Yes, I think that is it for my collection. And well, that is it for the video. Hoped you enjoyed it, and yes, I hope you're going to be looking, and well, I'm more looking forward into doing another video like this.